Today, I'm going to give you some tips that are a must-watch for self-taught piano players. It's your piano teacher, Tim, here today, and I'm going to be specifically telling you, as a self-taught piano player, where to find music, how to practice all the important stuff, how to stay motivated, some general practice tips, and of course, how to find out whether you're making progress or you're not making progress, which is pretty important. Let's get to it. So the first thing you're going to want to get is a piano practice lesson book or some sort of piano course, which I'll talk more about in a second. But if you get one of these lesson books, it's great because it introduces you to pieces and topics in the order that you're supposed to be learning them, especially if you don't have a teacher, which is really, really helpful. So as you can see, it starts way from the beginning, like how to do hand exercises, finger numbers, all that stuff, and it quickly takes you through to where you're playing real pieces, you're reading music, and you keep going, as you can see, it's getting more complicated, and then by the end of this first book even, you're playing some pretty substantial music that will be a great starting point or a great foundation for the rest of your piano playing experience. So the first tip is to get some sort of piano lesson book or course. Speaking of piano courses, I have courses on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com. I have courses for beginner students, intermediate, and advanced students, and they are structured in a way to, again, make sure you're learning the right things in the right order with pieces to practice. It's basically like this book, but there's different pieces. The lessons are for me, and it helps the channel out as well. So remember, pianolessonsontheweb.com. Good place to get courses. And this particular book, which I should mention, is called the Alfred's Adult All-in-One Course. It's the #1 book I actually recommend for beginner self-learned piano students. There's more. Let me show you the next tip I have for you. The next tip is how to stay motivated. So the #1 way to stay motivated is to write down really the reasons why you're learning piano in the first place. And those reasons can vary a lot depending on who you are. A lot of people learn piano to learn Megalovania, which is a Undertale piece. But it could vary. Your goals can vary person to person, so make sure to write them down, and they will keep you motivated at times where sometimes you forget why you started to begin with. So having a list, yours might not be as silly as mine, but having a list, checking it twice of why you started will keep you motivated.
Go on.
There's another tip I have to keep you motivated, and that is to listen to popular artists or artists that you like that play the music that you like, or that play the music that you want to learn on the piano. You'd be surprised how good this is at keeping you motivated and keeping you inspired. After all, I think a lot of us learn piano because we were inspired somehow, or we have some reason behind it, right? You saw an artist that you liked, you have a family member that played, you want to impress your grandma or something like that, right? So make sure that you're not only writing down the reasons you started, but you're listening to artists and people that are doing the dream that you want to achieve. Well, let's get on to the next tip.
Okay, let's do it.
The next tip is a silly one, and I promise the next one is a lot better, but this one is also good. You want to subscribe to Piano Lessons on the Web. Piano Lessons on the Web YouTube channel. I have a ton of content already here, and our channel motto is practical piano instruction for everyday people, and that means you. So these are the tips, videos, and lessons that you need to basically build a strong foundation learning music and to continue being successful. So this channel is really, really geared towards not only people who may have a teacher already and you're looking for something supplemental, something to supplement your learning, but it's also great for self-learners as well. I highly recommend you check out the courses for beginner section here. And I also recommend you check out the most valuable tips for learning piano. This selection of videos right here are the most, not only the most popular generally, but also the most, I feel, the most important and most useful tips on the channel. So tip number 3 is to subscribe to a YouTube channel that's geared towards what you're trying to accomplish as a musician. So if you're really trying to become a well-rounded musician, I'm biased in saying this, but Piano Lessons on the Web is the one you want to subscribe to. make sure you have all notifications turned on. I have a more useful tip coming up, which is right now. Number 4 is that you want to be practicing as close to every day as possible. So think about like anything you're doing, like exercise, brushing your teeth, going to school, going to work. What makes some of those things successful? Well, you're doing them at the same time. They're a priority. It's something that you want to do. But here's the one thing I want to tell you is that if you don't make piano practicing a priority, your results will reflect that. So like I said, some tips I have is to pick the same time each day, practice as close to every day as possible, because it's all about developing positive habits that will help you rather than hinder you. So make sure you make practice a priority and make it a regular thing. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, it's just all about getting into that regular routine of practicing. You don't want to practice really good for a couple weeks and then take weeks and weeks off and then come back weeks and weeks, take weeks and weeks off. That will hinder your progress a lot. It's a lot better to practice a little bit each day, or even a lot each day, than it is a lot in chunks, taking chunks off and then taking, learning in chunks again. I think you get the idea. Let's get on to the next awesome tip for self-taught learners. Okay, the next tip I have for you, this one will help you make sure that you're making progress over time, and that is to record yourself with your phone. I know there's a audio software for PC that's free called Audacity. There's even one built into Windows, I believe. I don't know anything about Mac, I'm sorry, but I know there are ones for Mac as well. But the key is to record yourself playing, I would say like once a month. Record yourself in the beginning of the month, and then the beginning of the next month. Like record yourself again, and then compare the recordings to hear if you can hear a discernible improvement between each recording. If you really can't, maybe you're not making that much progress. So what I recommend you do is either keep practicing, maybe your practice regimen hasn't been strong enough, or even better, you ever have the opportunity to play for a teacher, whether it's a paid private lesson teacher, you have a piano teacher at school, please take that opportunity to play for them, because even if you spend a couple of minutes playing for them and they give you just a couple of tips of feedback, that can be so valuable in improving into the future. I get that not all of us can afford a teacher, but recording yourself and listening to yourself over time is the next best thing. All right, any questions? Let me know in the comments. Do you have any questions about self-taught piano players? We're not done yet. We're continuing after this, but I want to know any questions that you might have, and I might make a follow-up video, but I'll certainly do my best to answer your questions that you may have. All right, we got another one.
That's really good.
So this is like kind of extending to the one I just talked about, using opportunities to play in front of teachers and get their feedback. Guess what? I got something just for you, and I just started this. I started this thing over on our community Discord called Piano Practice Club. It's right there on the left. So I have a link for you in the description for Discord. You click it, you join our Discord, and then you go down here to the left to the Piano Practice Club section, and we have our pieces that we're going to be learning for a month. You're probably going to be wondering, what is Piano Practice Club? Well, I should explain it for this lesson particularly. So Piano Practice Club is like a book club, but with practicing piano pieces. So we're going to be meeting the first Friday of each month at 3 p.m. Eastern, by the way, live here on YouTube, where we will be playing together a selection of pieces that you can find on the Discord that we're all going to be learning together. There's also more information on the Discord of how you should be practicing them. Like, you're only supposed to learn one piece out of the list. You can submit a recording. That's all over here on the Discord, actually. If you go over to the October pieces, you can find a bit of verbiage here from me on how to proceed. So join the Discord and let me know any questions you may have about it. You can record yourself, either audio or video, and submit your recordings down here, or you can recommend a piece for us to play next time. So that's how that works. So that, I just want to tell you that, because I was saying that you want to get as much feedback as you can. So guess what? If you want feedback, submit something to Piano Practice Club, and I'll give you feedback during our live session. And other students, once we get things rolling, will hopefully give you feedback as well. So something free, by the way, for you to take advantage of. All right, I got another tip. It's the most important tip of all time. If you've watched my videos, you might know this. But even though I say it a lot, I look like a chipmunk. Even though I say it a lot, it is just as important. And that is to watch another video. And particularly, I want you to check out this playlist of the Home Piano Course. Home Piano Course was a free course I put here on YouTube where I go over this book I told you about earlier. And I show you like how to practice the pieces and stuff. Ain't I a nice guy? So check that out in the thing right there, the playlist. I'm going to link it for you in the description as well. That's the Home Piano Course, the 2020 version, of course. It's been your piano teacher, Tim, here. Thank you so much for coming by today. Well, thank you so much for coming by today, and I'll see you, yes, you, in that next lesson. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to